Hello and welcome to the Glow Up Method. This is the place where we talk all things personal development, personal growth, transformation, all the things in our lives that help us to create a life that we are individually proud of. Hi, my name is Natasha, and I'm not going to say I'm excited to be here today. I am here today, and that's the whole point. I have been having one of those days where I'm just feeling, so first off, today in the real world, it is a Monday holiday. It's President's Day. And, I have a pretty flexible schedule. It's not like I have a 9 to 5 that, I have to answer to every day. And so, sometimes I don't feel like I'm entitled to this kind of okay, here's another day of the holiday in the same way as when I work a traditional 9 to 5. And I always feel like I need to be going. And this part of my journey, again, has been this reminder, it's okay to stop. However, then my body, realizes it. I know this about me is that, bodies in motion, stay in motion. Bodies at rest, stay at rest. And so here it is. It's night. It is now 7:10 p.m. I've been up since 8, but then I've been laying around. I have been feeling a touch of sadness, and I've been feeling just a touch of exhaustion. Now, I did things. I washed my hair, did my hair treatment I wanted to do. I made lunch for the boys and I had lunch with us. I've done some laundry, done some cleaning out of things. I said goodbye to a lifetime of trophies for my young kids because, again, is the plan to have a museum, or am I going to create a trophy room for them and, proudly display their 5-year-old trophies? The truth of the matter is no, that isn't. And I, checked in with them, what's the plan for these trophies? And they were like, goodbye. And so really I'm in this, phase of my life where, again, decluttering, making space, just making space, not making space for more, but making space for the things that I want to do. I want to travel. I want to see the world. I want to have new experiences. I want to, maybe at some point leave Pleasanton. I can always come back. It's a big world, and the idea of just living here for the rest of my life, it sounds very, it's nice to have a home base, but it also sounds very stifling to me, especially at this juncture where, again, like I say, I'm entering a different phase here. My kids are getting older, this era of putting everybody else ahead of myself is kind of phasing out. And, it's a new world, and not that they're not important. It's just that, those dreams that I held into my heart and postponed are still there. And I want to travel, and I want to see the world, and I want to have new experiences. I wanted to give my kids stability and commit to one area for them so that they had that consistency that Chris and I didn't personally have. And so, I just find myself today just feeling so, number one, confused because, again, I have this, desire so much so that I'm trying to understand to spend so much time with Chris, the hugs that he's giving, the love that he's giving, the nurturing, the attention, the support, the kindness, literally, let's just back it down to that. That's all I ever wanted. And it's almost like I'm addicted to it in a sense. I don't want to be without it because I feel so safe and secure with it. And then when it leaves, I'm not worried that he's what, listen, I'm not worrying about that. It's just, I'm missing that feeling. And so I'm feeling I'm becoming almost dependent on that feeling. I want to be with that person. I don't want to be left alone. And so, I was having a little bit of trouble sleeping last night. I'm so sad to say, I'm having a little bit of a back flare up again. And it's been so nice without it. And I was really cautious for so long. And then, okay, I would push the boundary a little bit more and well, this didn't hurt. Well, this didn't hurt. And I'd push and push and push. And, I did this weekend project where I was literally pulling out weeds with my hands that were as tall as I was. And I know I shouldn't have been doing it, but I was trying to get it done as fast as possible. I was leaned over. I know I probably should have asked for help or paid somebody else to do it, but right now I didn't have either of those resources available. And it was this opportunity that I took advantage of. And as I was doing it, I knew it was probably going to not be good for myself, but I was like hopeful that it would be. So anyways, so I'm frustrated. So I'm not sleeping so well because, my leg starts falling asleep. I'm not getting my typical, I'm erring on the side of doing less because when I've pushed through doing absurd amounts, that I only took what I'm having now as tolerable pain to an intolerable level. And so I'm definitely learning from that mistake. But I'm not sleeping well. So last night I was having a lot of kind of anxiety. I was having like a lot of thoughts like, well, what is going on with me? Like, what is triggering this, like sadness? Like I started to feel sad yesterday that today Chris had to go to work and couldn't be with me. I felt really sad. And he's like, and I'm like, I'm just sad. And he's like, okay, well, like it's just weird, like he's like, I can't remember his wording, but kind of like, it's unbelievable that you really want to spend this much time with me. And I'm like, I know, like, I totally get it myself. But like him saying that, like, really was like, made me think of like, start kind of questioning, well, what is going on with my experience? What triggered this? And, what has been this? And obviously it's been the leaving, that sense of loss. And I'm trying to connect it back and be like, where is this coming from? And then connecting it back to like the loss of my mom or the loss of family members throughout my lifetime. But I think especially when I was young, that thing and just wanting this person back and not only just wanting them back, like, wanting them back in the way in my mind that, they were nice and they were good and things were well. And that's where we're at right now. And I'm not like even nervous or paranoid that like, oh my gosh, it's going to go back. Like, I'm not even worried about any of that stuff. It's just, I literally feel sadness when he's not with me. And then on a TMI note, like, I don't know if the perimenopause is perimenopausing, like I'm experiencing like what I think would be like a menstrual cycle. And the next thing it's just like a spot. Like, I don't know. So I have an appointment for the doctors for that. Like so that again is like, oh, okay, well, that's probably going to be messing with your hormones a little bit, which is going to make you a little bit sad maybe, and a little bit tired and a little bit anxious because, there's a lot going on in your body right now. And so, yeah, there's a lot of financial stresses. There's a lot of decisions. There's a lot of things that I kicked the can and didn't do. And now it's like panic time and I have to deal with it now because there's no other option but to deal with it. And I can't delay it. So I feel like a lot of today has been like procrastinating. So what do you do on a day when you're like feeling sad and you don't have the energy and you don't have the motivation and you have the opportunity to lay down? Like, it's one thing when you're like feeling sad and don't have the energy, but you got to get up and go to work and you got to get up and take the kids to school. Like, when there's something bigger than you have to get up for, you can kind of sludge through it. But like today, I didn't have anything but myself. Of course, I did some things and I was able to do that. So I'm going to really celebrate that. Like, I made my bed, I took my shower, I washed my hair the way I wanted, like I did clean outs, I got rid of things. And, tomorrow's my garbage day. So that's always like a great time to be like, okay, here, let's fill this bad boy up. Let's, if I'm having to pay to take this stuff, let's get rid of some things in the house that are no longer serving us. And if there's things that we can donate, great. But sometimes, unfortunately, I know my uncle who was like so big on reduce, reuse, recycle. I'm trying to reduce by not buying crap I don't need anymore. And I am, I donate, I give away whatever I can, sell whatever it is. And sometimes some things like a broken trophy has just got to go to the recycle bin. Like I can't, it's got to go. It's got to get out of here. So, it's nice to have that space and clarity in my life again. But it also, again, it hasn't like made me feel super motivated. Like I struggled to sit down. Again, not that I ever know what we're really going to sit here and talk about, although I'm getting better. But like for me, it's really about being honest and vulnerable and being like, do you feel like this? Because if you do, you're not alone. And And what do you do with it, right? Like, I have a choice. I could have laid in bed and said, today is the day. I'm not doing any steps. I'm not doing any drinking water. I'm not doing anything. But sometimes we put like so many expectations when we're not feeling well. And maybe we had a plan to clean the entire house, and you can't clean the entire house, but you can clean one section. For me, I could clean, what I could do today was clean out some trophies. Hey guys, you want these? No? Okay, great. I'm going to get rid of these. And that felt like this thing. Yes, it wasn't the entire house, and I don't need to beat myself about it, because guess what? The entire house is still going to be there, but it was something, and celebrate that. What are you able to do? You're supposed to meet yourself where you are that day. Is it, I can drink water today, like take some sips of water, are you, making a plan? Are you getting some paperwork done? Whatever it is you can do, no matter how small it is, that is an accomplishment. That is worth it. And that is something to say, that's all I could do today. If you could do 100 steps, that's something. Do that then. And so that's really what the premise of today is some days are challenges. That's life. I mean, it's not this steady uphill, uphill. Sometimes it feels uphill, right? Like, but inclining, always getting, like, some days are up and down, and nothing has to trigger it. I could just feel sad. It's kind of gloomy looking outside. It's always that, like, you have a 3-day weekend, you had a Valentine's Day, like, you have these special occasions, and it's kind of like the letdown, like, okay, it's back to life, back to reality, back to taking kids to school, back to the same classes, back to feeling injured, back to stressing out, back to having appointments with bankers and things like this, and back to trying to figure out your life, and back to, the expectations of what you're doing, and to do more with this, and to, like, get focused, but also, like, really enjoy this relationship experience you're having, and balancing out and being a good mom, and taking kids here, and cooking dinner, and shopping, and cleaning, and for me personally, that's a lot. Like, for you, maybe that's like, I got that done at 8 a.m. girl, what are you complaining about? But for me, oh no, there's a fire truck just going by, so maybe somebody's having it even worse, like, not maybe, definitely people out there having it a lot worse than I am. Then I'm just sitting here feeling like, I'm feeling sad. I miss being able to just lay in bed and watch shows with Chris, like, and eat food, and again, the wanting to eat food, like, I have been wanting to eat, not out of hunger. It's just like, I'm really in this place where I'm craving a lot of comfort, those comfort sweets, those comfort salts, those comfort breads and pastas. And I just want to have this, like, comfort. And I feel like I'm building this insulation around me again to protect me from the broken heart and the brokenness I had recently felt, and to have come from such a high. Like I said, in October, I felt like I was on top of the world. I really did. Like, individually, I just felt so happy, no matter what was happening, no matter the fact that I was sick on the cruise, no matter, what was happening. Like, I honestly just felt like as free as a bird. I felt independent. My hair feels so soft, and it rarely feels soft, so I'm just enjoying that. Like, can I just have that for a moment? But I was just so on top of the world with everything except for obviously my relationship with Chris. But I was content with it ending. Like, I felt proud that we were both saying, like, I'm not dealing with this anymore. Like, this is no bueno. And I felt really proud for that. And I wasn't looking to be with anyone. I wasn't looking, like, yeah, it was like this pipe dream and this hope, of sitting around at a table and holding hands and dancing and taking trips and all those things. But it was kind of like a far off, like, want, a far off desire. And it wasn't like a pressing thing. It was kind of something I kept pushing away that I didn't necessarily feel quite ready for, because I knew I was still doing quite a lot of work individually. And in order to be a good partner, I think I need to be okay first. Like, and it's complex, right? So when I started to really work on myself, and Chris and I were starting to work on us, like, it was too hard for me to manage both. Like, I could do one or the other, but I couldn't do them both. And me trying to do them both, like, made me resent him and made me resent the relationship, because it was like, no, finally I'm taking care of me. And again, somebody is, like, getting in that way. And that somebody wasn't Chris, that somebody isn't my kids, that somebody is me. That somebody is me choosing to surrender to somebody else because I simply can't manage both. And what I'm learning is some old habits die hard. And it's easier for me to say, oh, okay, well, I just won't film today, or I won't do these things. And I think that that's what starts to build for me the exhaustion. It's not the other person, right? Like, I still want that. So like, that's the thing, is like, I really want to be doing that. I really want to be spending time with him, but I also really want to be doing this. So it's like, how do you manage to have your cake and eat it too? That's the question. And I think if I had limitless time and resources, that's not a problem. But the reality is, we all have a finite amount of time, and there is a finite amount of resources. And so having to make those choices and having to stick to a schedule. Today is a Monday. And so what I'm thinking about doing is, I have regained access to some of my old courses I was taking, and I'm really in the thought process that I might just start over. Like, I might just start my project over and have this new awareness, and have this other thing that's kind of guiding me, that's supporting me, because I'm feeling a lot supported by Chris, like emotionally and mentally. I have somebody I can lean on, that if I'm calling and like venting about something, he isn't taking it personal. It's not about him. It's usually about something else. Or celebrating something that's wonderfully happened, like, you know, having a great dance class. Like, so it's been lovely to have this partnership. And I love it. Like, right now, I feel like a little kid. You know, before I filmed, I'm like, did he text? You know, he sent me a thing. I was thinking of you and all this, and he's still working and things like that. So obviously, like, and then, you know, he doesn't live here, right? So like, is he gonna come over? Am I gonna go over there? Like, what's gonna happen? I don't know. And so there's still that little bit of uncertainty. And but I'm like a little kid. Look, did he text yet? Like, no, he hasn't. So I'm like, okay. So trying to be like, okay, let's get your stuff done. Let's prioritize you. I took a few little naps today and a few little rests, so I feel a little bit more energized. I think that the beauty of life is every day isn't a win. Every day isn't, you know, like I told my son, every meal isn't a 10. And let me tell you, the little meal I cooked for us today, he was like, is this a 10 meal? I'm like, absolutely not. It was not a 10 meal, but I ate it. It fulfilled the need. It didn't take long to cook. They ate it. You know, would we eat it again? Probably not. You know, like if it was that or nothing, probably maybe would eat it, but it's not high on the list of like wanting to run out and eat it again. Like, no, let's make this one again. But it did its job. More importantly, I got time with my kids. And you know, eating with somebody is such an important thing for me. Like, breaking bread and sharing like time and talk and conversation over a meal is something that's really important. So I think that's why too, like, I'm feeling really hungry, because I'm feeling this desire to connect with people and to have these connections. And I feel like, in so many ways, after almost getting in a terrible car accident, after, you know, having Chris move out and move on and all those things, like, no, now there's like another fire engine, or I think that was an ambulance. But you know, it's been this sense of like, I'm on borrowed time. Like, not on borrowed time per se, but that's how I always say it. You know, like I've said this with Brad, like, I'm on borrowed time in a different way, in a different place. These things wouldn't be happening. And I'm so grateful they are, that I really just want to enjoy them. And, but I know that when I'm indulging in things I really enjoy, some of the things that I don't enjoy, that need to get done, because this is life, and the bills still need to get paid, and the work still needs to get done, and all those things, they kind of get deprioritized. And over time, we come to a place where I'm like, I am now, where I'm dealing with something I should have dealt with 3 to 5 years ago. And it's compounding, and it's making things more complex and complicated than it should have been. And I'm not mad about it, but I'm realizing, hey, sometimes, you know, when I'm avoiding the things that I don't want to do, that I'm avoiding it. It doesn't mean it's going to go away. Nothing's going to take it away, but I'm just making it a little bit more complicated on myself when I need to deal with it. When there's no more kicking the cans, no more extensions, no more of this or that. So it's a reminder to me that, yes, it's okay to take your time. It's okay to take a rest. It's okay to take a break day. It's okay to, you know, realize your back's hurting and not, you know, go crazy with things. And, you know, like today, my favorite instructor had Literally 4 classes I could have gone back to back to back. I mean, that's living a dream for me. And I didn't go to one. And I'm sad I couldn't go. Like, I could have, but I know that if I would have pushed myself that much, I would have taken what's out of pain like a 3 to 5 to most likely like a 5 to a 10. And so I have to make a complex choice, or I have to make a difficult choice. I have to surrender from something I really want to do and do what's best for me. And not always are they the same. And yeah, I could go and throttle it and do different things, but even just sitting in the car for that amount of time, I sat in the car a lot this weekend. We did like 4 or 5 hours of driving when we were in Monterey. So, you know, it's a lot of sitting. It's hard on my back. And so, yeah, like I have to make complex choices. And today the complex choice was to get up and film, and to get up and, you know, do my steps. And some of those things I haven't quite got to yet, but I have now done my filming, and I'm proud of that. And so what things are you perhaps procrastinating on? Or what things do you just not like feel like I don't want to, like, I just don't want to do it. I'm tired. I want to lay down. What kind of things? And that's okay. Like, know that it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you for the way you're feeling in a particular day. I think that the most important things to do is acknowledge, this is how I'm feeling and this is what I can do today. But do something. Like, I find that the times that I'm like, I'm just going to absolutely do nothing, it honestly is worse than me saying, okay, today I'm going to do 3 things. I'm going to drink a cup of water. I'm going to make my bed. I'm going to wash my hair. Like, those are the 3 things I can do. Anything above and beyond that, bonus. But like, give myself something to do, because I find the days that I literally lay and do absolutely nothing are really, really challenging for me personally, mentally. Like, it really just, I feel it makes me feel pretty bad. At least this way I have things that I'm like, yeah, I did that. I could celebrate that. I didn't want to, but I did it. And they don't have to be big things. Like I said, we all can take a sip of water. You know, we all could brush our hair, you know, whatever it is, if we have hair. So I say all that to say, I'm really proud of you for tuning in, because maybe you were like, listen, I don't really care today about listening to any type of personal development, any type of anything. Like, I just want to be, I'm going to get on work on this tomorrow. But if there's a project, if there's something to do, if you have an accountability buddy, if somebody can help be there with you and motivate you on these times, like today, I don't feel the motivation. And I don't really have that accountability buddy. You, in a sense, are definitely my accountability buddy. Like, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be sitting here and filming this. Like, so in a sense, I do have my community. I do have you to keep me accountable in this thing. And once I accomplish something, I kind of start wanting to do a little bit more. So I say all this to say, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to keep it short today because, you know what, that's all I got. And I'm just really proud of you. So please go out there today. Number 1, go take a look at yourself in the mirror. Give yourself a big smile. You deserve it. Say something kind about yourself. You know what, today I'm going to say, I like my hair. My hair feels soft. I'm really proud of that. And number 2, then you can take all that kindness that you have now had that's overflowing within you, go out there and share it with the world. Give somebody a smile. Give them a compliment. They're totally free. And I'm telling you, there's never been a time where somebody doesn't glow up in their own way. Sometimes people don't appreciate, like don't accept a compliment, right? Like, they're like, no, you know, but they need to hear it as much as you need to give it to yourself. And that's how I began with myself. When I would give myself compliments at first, I didn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. Somebody said anything nice to me, I was like, no. I was so quick to say, oh, but you this, instead of just accepting the kindness coming to me, whether it be from me or from somebody else. So please go out there today. Be kind to you. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for showing up and tuning in. It means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Mwah. Bye.